May God have mercy on our souls. So, yes, it is that time. It is time for the weekly, oh my god, anime adaptations are so awful, why do they keep making these, just stop doing it. But, this is a bit of a different video, because I'm going to be talking about a movie that no one talks about. In fact, I don't even know if most people know this movie exists. Whenever you hear worst anime adaptation, you always think Dragon Ball Evolution. But no one ever thinks of this movie. And I think I know why. This was a straight-to-TV movie that came out in 2004. And it's called Devilman.
歴史が蘇る 選べアキラ。お前が信じていいのは俺だけだ。俺は悪魔ではない。俺はデビルマンだ。
I'm not gonna get into the backstory of Devilman and all the different adaptations, because if we did, we'd be here fucking forever. I'm just going to be looking at this as a movie and as a Devilman story. Because I had the pleasure of watching this last night after searching for it forever. Finally, the movie came on Tubi. So I sat down and watched it at like 1 a.m. And oh boy, it was an experience. As someone who is a massive Devilman fan, I didn't know what this movie would be going in. All I knew is that the CGI was fucking terrible and that this movie was hated. I didn't know anything else. Some of my predictions for the movie were that it would be incredibly rushed because you're fitting an entire series into less than 2 hours. And surprise, surprise, it was really rushed. But oh my god, I did not expect some of the shit in this movie. First off, let's get this out of the way. The first half of this movie, the first hour of this movie, laughably horrible. Oh my god, the CGI is so bad. The costumes, what the fuck am I looking at? Did you buy that at Party City? The CGI, what the fuck is this? Who signed off on this? Who looked at that and said that is a finished product? Why? No, the acting is horrible. Listen to this.
Piki-chan.
When your fucking girlfriend gets decapitated, and oh, we'll get into the girlfriend later. When your girlfriend gets decapitated and is brutally murdered and you come back to find your entire family fucking slaughtered, I would expect something like this. Instead, we get this. Could you not get like a second take of that? Was that too hard? Were you on a time crunch? Because I feel like you could have done better than this. And just wow. Just fucking wow. What am I looking at? What the fuck? What the fuck is this? Let's get this out of the way. Is this a good movie? No. The first half of this movie is so bad. So many logic issues, weird fucking dialogue, the pacing is awful. There's no time to breathe in between any situations. You get the backstory, the main characters' relationships, their show, like them discovering the demons and them becoming possessed by demons in less than 15 minutes. It is so rushed. And the first time he transforms into Devilman, there's no build-up, it's just, boom, Devilman. After he gets possessed by a fucking sperm cell.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Sure, why not? The first line of dialogue he says is Devilman. It's not like he's scared, he's not confused, he just says, die, demon, and then he cuts a demon in half, instantly, first try. And then after that, he's just Devilman now. He acts the same, he looks the same, he's not scared, he's not confused, he's just there. He's like, oh yeah, I guess I'm a demon now. It's just, oh, the hunky-dory day, I get to turn into a fucking demon and rip people in half and fly and throw things into buildings and... Yeah, okay. Sure, I wouldn't be confused at all. I wouldn't be surprised. I guess turning into a fucking demon is just your normal everyday occurrence. Your best friend is a demon? Oh yeah, dude, don't worry. What? You think people would have emotion in a story like Devilman, which is known for its extreme violence and emotional highs, but no. No, I guess not. Everyone in this movie is just so... there. And the dialogue. What the hell? I can't really explain it to you. It's just so... bizarre. Like, the way people talk. Everyone talks like they're in a fucking stage play. There's so many dramatic pauses where it's like, I need you, Akira. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why did you pause there? You could have just said, I need you, Akira, and boom, same effect. But like, you have a dramatic pause? Everyone acts like they're in a stage play, and it's so fucking weird. It really threw me off. Eventually I got used to it, but just, wow. It's so strange. And it doesn't help that the pacing is just awful. You have an entire, like, half of the story condensed into less than an hour. You're already on a time crunch because you're adapting an entire series into less than 2 hours. But at least the final half of the movie is paced pretty well for the most part. But the first half, they rush through everything. They even have a lot of the, like, weird subplots that were in different versions of the story. Like Devilman Crybaby has the weird pedophilia thing. That's in this movie. But it has no reason to be in this movie. It serves zero purpose. Nothing ever comes of it. The character doesn't do anything. Literally nothing happens. It's just there because it's Devilman, and that's what it was like before. So it just puzzles me as to, like, if you're gonna try to adapt this into a movie, how about you remove the excess fluff and just focus on the main story? But they didn't. They tried to include everything, and it didn't fucking work. It was like Avatar: The Last Airbender, where they tried to adapt like an entire season of a show into one fucking movie, and surprise, surprise, it didn't work very well. So I feel like the problem with this movie is just the pacing is so bad. It's so rushed. If they were to make a modern-day Devilman movie, first off, give it an actual budget, please. And second off, give it the Dune treatment. Give it a 2-part story. You can't do Devilman in a single less than 2-hour movie. It doesn't work. But all this shit that I'm talking about this movie is mostly about the first 50 minutes. I'll be totally honest. I was laughing my ass off throughout this entire movie. Or throughout the entire first 50 minutes. But once it gets to the apocalypse part, the part where demons are invading and humans are starting to be aware of demons, I was shocked by how much of a turn it took. The first half of this movie is terrible, but the second half is, like, actually pretty good. The acting, for the most part, is better in this half. I mean, yeah, the main character is still not a good actor, but everyone else seems to do a pretty good job. And although the CGI is still really bad, at the very end, I feel like it works. Since everything is CGI, it's not these Mortal Kombat Annihilation models put onto real backgrounds, so it doesn't feel as strange. But I was, like, really surprised because I was expecting this movie to be awful, and in the first half I was like, wow, this is awful. But it was really good in the second half. Granted, it's still a lot of issues, but it's tried and true Devilman. It's incredibly dark. Of course, the ending is very somber. It doesn't hold back. It doesn't pull its punches. It's violent. It's dark. And it continues the themes of the Devilman franchise about humanity and the awful side of humanity and the warlike nature of us and how even in a world filled with demons, we're the scariest thing. I was shocked. Genuinely. It feels like they just wanted to get the first half out of the way just so they could get to the second half. And this has been on my mind the whole time. Let's just get this. Let's just talk about this.
やめろみきちゃん今の俺嫌いか
好きよ
本当か俺はもっと好きだ
What the actual fuck am I looking at? I have no problem with the actress who played her, but if you don't know, Akira, his parents in this version are dead, so his aunt and uncle took him in, and they have a daughter. That makes them cousins. Blood related. If you know Devilman, you know where this is going. There is literally zero romantic tension between them in the first half of the movie. Zero. It's just like a normal relationship. It's like, hey, happy birthday, you know, you have a license and you don't have anything to drive, so me, your aunt, and your uncle, we decided to get you a bike for you to ride. Like, oh, wow, thanks. Like, I got a motorcycle. That's awesome. Thanks, guys. And then, like, 2 scenes later, after he becomes Devilman and stuff, she's like, you're acting different, despite the fact that he's not acting different at all. And then if she, like, tries to pull him down from the stairs or something, and then, of course, they both fall onto the bed, and he's on top of her, and they say something, like, really cringy, and then they start having sex. What the fuck? Later on in the movie, they go to a church. Why? I don't fucking know. Akira doesn't even pray. She goes in, prays, they're there for like 2 minutes, and he's like, what did you pray for? And she's like, oh, I want to have kids and get married to you and have a big happy family. And I'm like, bitch, you've been together for like 2 days, and the first thing you do is go to a church and start praying that you have a lot of kids and a big happy family. You are cousins, by the way. Why the hell did this happen? Why is there incest? Why? At the very least, in other interpretations, they were like step-siblings. Kind of. Or they were like stepsisters. Or like stepsister and stepbrother. They weren't blood-related. Yeah, they were technically the same family, so it felt a little weird, but wait a minute, no, they weren't step-siblings. They were adopted. So it's at least a little less weird. But in this, they're straight-up blood-related. They are literally cousins. And they have a weird relationship. It comes out of absolutely nowhere. And it's fucking weird. It's so weird. The practical effects in this movie look pretty decent. That just makes the CGI stick out like a sore thumb. Yeah, we're onto that part of the video. The CGI is so bad. What the fuck? I know I already said this looked like Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and it does, but honestly, after a while, I kind of got used to it. The final, act of the movie, it doesn't look that bad. There's some great shots in this movie as well. But I think the thing that truly bothers me about this movie is the acting. He's such a bad actor. Or no, I don't want to say he's a bad actor. He does bad in this movie. I know there is other movies he's been in that have been received well. I think it's like Crow Zero, I think is what it's called. That was received well. I don't know how substantial his role was in that movie, but it was received well. But this movie, I don't know if it's the director giving him bad direction, but this movie, he just doesn't do well in it. He just doesn't. For something like Devilman, it needs to be emotional. And when you sound like you're moaning when you're supposed to be crying, it's really fucking funny. And when watching this Devilman, the last thing you want me to be doing is laughing my dick off. This was my first ever introduction to the concept of Devilman. This wasn't the first thing I watched that was Devilman related, but this was the first thing I ever heard of that was Devilman related. And I love Devilman, so I have a bit of a soft spot for this movie. And like I said, the second half of the movie is honestly pretty good. Granted, it still has a lot of issues, but I don't hate this movie. Oh my god, I totally forgot to talk about the designs.